Почитувани гледачи, добро вечер. Имам особена чест и задоволство повторно во емисијата Јади Бурек да го поздравам мојот драг пријател Джейсон Мико, докажен пријател на Македонија, познат како бивши советник на покојниот председател Трајковски и човек кој и после смртта на Трајковски остана во земјата да работи, да и помага на Македонија. I said to the people, welcome you, and I said that you were working as a consultant for the late President Trajkovski. You still stay here in Macedonia as a friend to help Macedonia through these turbulent times.
Janko, thank you for having me on the show. It's great to be here. 4 years ago, I was here on your show when we were talking about Roxy music.
We were talking about music, and now we will talking about movie.
With music as well.
You are my favorite multimedia guest.
Well, it's great to be here.
Mr. Jason, for the past year, the public in Macedonia heard about documentary A Name is a Name. And there were some trailers, some very small facts, and the interest of the public was very big because Macedonian people are very friendly and very open when somebody try to understand us, to talk about our problem, our dispute about the name. So I need a full prehistory of movie A Name is a Name. Your collaboration, how you get involved in this, who are the people who are involved in this documentary. So enlighten us, please.
Excellent way to begin, at the beginning. I'm a big fan and a big friend of Macedonia. I love this country and I love the people. I've been involved in Macedonia now for 14 years. In 2007, some friends of mine who were helping to organize the World Conference on Dialogue Among Religions and Civilizations at Lake Ohrid.
Oh, yes.
Which was sponsored by both the government and UNESCO.
Excellent.
They came to me and they said, do you know somebody who has kind of some name recognition in the world and also has a kind of a philosophical, religious understanding? The only person I had any connection with was Morten Harket, the lead singer of the Norwegian band a-ha. And I didn't know him personally, but I knew how to connect with him through the Merita Foundation. Merita is a Norwegian foundation. I'm on the board of the Merita Foundation here in Skopje. They work on getting young people out of drugs and keeping young people from even starting drugs.
Excellent, I didn't know
this. So I reached out to Leif Holstad, who is the founder of Merita in Norway, who knows Morten Harket, and I said, could you give him this invitation? Not really expecting anything, just because people's schedules are so busy and whatnot. And lo and behold, Morten said yes. So in October of 2007, Morten came to Lake Ohrid.
You just very simply explain, okay, would you like this? Say yes. It was so easy?
Apparently so. I mean, I don't know. Leif really told him that because Leif has been to Macedonia several times with Merita.
Okay.
And so he knew the people, he knew the situation, and so he really encouraged Morten to come here. So Morten came here with his friend and kind of manager, Sigurðin Einarsson, who is actually Icelandic but lives in Norway working with Morten, and Sigurðin's a filmmaker by profession. So they came down. We spent a weekend at Lake Ohrid hanging out with a rock star, which was kind of cool in and of itself. And
drinking beers, driving bikes.
Rakia. So yeah, and beer and good Macedonian wine.
Excellent.
And Morten spoke. He didn't sing. He spoke at the conference. We talked about the whole situation. Morten sat down with the Prime Minister and talked about the name issue and whatnot.
Our Prime Minister?
Yeah, Nikola Gruevski. And others as well. Talked to a lot of people in 48 hours. We stayed in touch.
He, for the first time, he understand the problem of Macedonia with the dispute about the name?
He knew about it a little bit beforehand from having hosted the Eurovision contest in '96, where he was forced to say former Yugoslav Republic of Macedonia. It's something, and you know, rock stars tend to be socially oriented and justice oriented, etc.
Yes.
Morton had worked on a film with Sigurjan on independence for East Timor in 1995.
Really?
Yeah.
Very brave.
Yeah. So they've already been
He
involved
was in East Timor and making a documentary about it.
Yeah. So they'd already been involved in these issues.
Yes, this is a different line in perspective about who is he.
Yeah, no, he's very, and Morton is very much involved in other social justice issues, things you'll never hear about. That's fine. He wants to be quiet about it. But we stayed in touch. Morton at the time was working on a solo album called Letter from Egypt, his second solo album.
Just one question. Did you record anything? Did you documentary anything from that period?
The conference?
The conference.
I think it was the Ministry of Culture, of course, was in charge. I'm sure they have it on videotape and whatnot. So.
But nothing for the purpose of the movie.
No. We haven't even agreed. We haven't even talked about making a movie.
Oh.
So this is October 2007, mind you.
Okay, October 2007.
So we stayed in touch. Yes. They went on to work on the film. I actually wrote Morton's bio for his website for Letter from Egypt. They asked me to do that. And then in May of 2008, I went up to Oslo for the release party of his album, Letter from Egypt. And so it was kind of cool to go to the release party for, the concert, and Aha played some songs and whatnot. And I sat down again with Morton and with Sigurjan, and we talked some more about Macedonia. And Sigurjan, who is the filmmaker by profession, he looked at me and he says, well, why don't we make a movie about this? And I had never made a movie in my life.
About what you were discussing about this?
Macedonia, yeah. This is May 2008. So Sigurjan says, why don't we make a movie? I've never made a movie in my life. I thought to myself, how difficult can that be? Yes. I said, okay, why not? So, so we went forward. We had our pre-production trip in September of 2008.
Pre-production trip, you mean that's
kind of mapping out what we want to do, kind
where
of where we go,
the places.
Right, yeah.
Excellent.
All of that. And then
that's look very professional. Who taught you that?
He did. So, yeah.
Really?
Yeah. And the other guys, we had, our
contact with
our production house. I give all credit to our production house, FX 3X here in Skopje. They provided the crew. My assistant producer, Alexander Bilbilov, really.
Milcho?
No, not with Milcho. No. This is
no, Milcho Manchevsky. Mile and Milcho from 3D.
No,
this is 3D FX.
No, this is FX. This is Miko and Christian.
Oh, sorry.
So different group. So,
different group. Yeah. Okay.
So, but Alexander Bilbilov, the assistant producer, really organized things. Got FX3X involved. So when it came to the production, we did two production trips, one of 7 days and one of 2 days. So 9 days in total in filming around Macedonia.
Okay.
So we literally traveled the country, let's see, Skopje, we traveled the country kind of counterclockwise. So we went towards Tetovo and in the west, and Gostivar and Galičnik and Debar, and then down to
Ohrid, Struga, Resen, Bitola, Prilep.
Yeah, Trpeca, Galičica, and then Bitola, Kruševo, Strumica, Kokino.
I understand.
Yeah,
I understand.
So 9 days of filming on 2 trips. And then a number of post-production trips, of course, after that to do the editing at the facilities here.
9 days, you were around in Macedonia. I never been around in Macedonia for 9 days, to be honest. You were sleeping in different cities and different hotels and different places.
Yep. We had our crew. Our crew just kind of go along and
off the record.
Off the record. We're on TV.
Yes, off the record. Nobody will know this. Tell me this. What is your opinion? Because I don't believe that you have a chance 9 days to sleep in different places in Macedonia in such a tour. So, is this was new experience for you?
Not for me. I mean, I've been all over Macedonia. I've been to more places in Macedonia than most Macedonians.
Yes,
Trust me, I know that.
I believe
for sure. But it was great for, I'll give you an example. One of our crew, we were doing one of our days filming in Berovo, actually high above the hills in Berovo, with a farmer and his wife and their family. And we had finished the filming. It was the end of the day. And then at the end of the day, of course, they bring out the homemade cheese and the bread and the rakia and the vegetables. And, all this stuff just starts coming out.
Cut the recording. Just kidding, just kidding.
Yeah. And one of our guys in the production crew, he said, you know, when we're doing this in October, he said to me, he said, next summer, I'm telling my wife, we're not leaving the country. We're just going to travel around Macedonia and see all the beauty of Macedonia.
Really?
Yeah.
Excellent.
So, I should tell you the story, though.
Okay.
Of the film. So the storyline.
We have a lot of time.
Yeah, no problem.
I enjoying this storytelling about all these beauties you put it together. Yes,
Yeah.
it is warm. It is nice, and I want to share every detail with the public.
Good. I'm happy to. And so the storyline is that of a Scandinavian man who comes to Macedonia, gets on a motorcycle, and travels around the country. He talks to Macedonians from all backgrounds, from all classes, from the prime minister in Skopje down to the Baba in Trpeza. And he says, what does it mean to you to be a Macedonian? How important is the name? And they tell the story. He never speaks on camera. So what we've done is his thoughts are conveyed through the narration, which is provided by Sir Andrew Motion of the United Kingdom, who was the UK Poet Laureate for 10 years.
Some deep voices.
Yeah, it's beautiful British. Oh yeah, the British, as only the British can do.
Yes,
so,
the British.
yeah, it's just fantastic,
Excellent.
fantastic accent. And then of course in between, you know, we have the music. We have Morton, we have Graham Nash of Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young.
Really?
We have 3 Icelandic bands, Sigur Rós, Mum, and Eartha Fair. We have a band from California called Montenegro, oddly. Oddly, we have Macedonia's own Kirill and the late Toshe.
And nobody have a problem to use the music for.
No, we have all the rights for that.
All the rights.
Yeah. So.
I know how the Western world works on those right things. So this is only technical question. 9 days.
9 days of filming.
So what was his opinion after 9 days visiting Macedonia?
Oh, well, he, you know, like all of us.
I don't have him.
Yeah.
He will came in Macedonia in Sunday.
Late Sunday night.
Sunday night. It will be very difficult to take an interview from him. And the first projection will be on Monday at Cinema
Monday night.
Millennium.
Yeah, Monday night is we have a VIP screening on Monday night. And for government officials, crew, diplomatic corps,
and
media,
nice guys like me.
Media, of course. But the first public showing is at 9:30 p.m. on Monday night, and I
will late, and I want to buy a ticket.
Okay. Well, we hope to fill up Millennium, and then we'll run it for 10 days at Frosina Kino. And we'll see. You know, if there's a positive reaction, and I hope there is, we'll show it around the country.
Of course, of course.
Yeah.
So let's back to our friend. What was his reaction? What was what he told you after the filming? How did he receive Macedonia from all these different angles?
I'll give you one example. When we were in the hill at the farm above Berevo, after we're having a rakia and cheese and everything, he says he put his hand over his heart like this, like the microphone.
So, no problem.
And he said, this is the spirit of Macedonia, and that's what's really touched him. I remember we were down in Trpeza with a fisherman.
I can burst in tears. Really, this is very warm. Scandinavian people, they have nice life. You have Western world. You made the civilization. You have all the prosperity, and came down this little country. Go to Berevo, which is wonderful place. Maybe next time to because our astronomy society goes there to watch the sky, one of the clearest sky in Europe.
I believe it.
Yes. After Rakia, lay down on the grass and watch the sky, you will see the Milky Way. So, we need a warm touch like this.
Yeah.
So, is this touch presented in the documentary? Because Macedonian people suffered a lot from our neighbors, mostly from our neighbors. And warm touch is something that our people feel it very little in the history. So I think this will be a history moment. I don't know, this is only inspiration talking to me right now. If they feel through this movie that somebody thought warm about this land, about these people, because I think in this moment we need such a thing. So you watch the whole movie, how it's edited, etc., etc.
Oh yeah, I've seen it many times.
And what is your opinion?
It's, so many. Well, first of all, it's the Macedonians who really tell the story in the film, because we just go around and we ask, it's not scripted, we just ask the questions, and people speak from the heart. And they say, I am a Macedonian, we are Macedonians, this is Macedonia, it will remain that way. I can tell you, I think people will react very strongly to, let's see if we can bring up the Baba and Trpeca.
In the gallery?
Gallery, yeah. Let's see. No, it's not there. Oh wait, no, it'd be people. Go to people. No, people here. Click on that. That's Lubin the fisherman. Next.
Може компјутерот да иде да го прикажете. Режија? This is a...
There.
Yes. This is Baba in Trpeca
Baba and the grandkids.
On Prespa Lake.
No,
Ohrid. Sorry.
Yeah.
Trpeca,
She's wonderful. She didn't even know how old she was.
Really?
No, but she sat down. We just asked her. We went down. We just walked down to the shore, and we said, our crew kind of went out and said, "Are you interested in doing this? This is what the film is about, etc." And she willingly just went on camera and answered the questions, and she said, "I am a Macedonian. I'm a proud Macedonian. I don't give you the right to change the name. You cannot change the name. I don't give you that right."
This old lady.
Yeah. So she's great. She should. I want to bring her.
Yes.
To the U.S. Congress and the Senate and have her sit down in front of the senators and say, "You don't have the right to change my name." That's what I want to do. Her and Chuck Norris.
Chuck Norris, please. I'm a little bit confused. You can see that because of this part of the film. So let's go to the technical question. How long is this documentary?
48 minutes.
48 minutes. When you do the editing, was this optimal? Did you find that you need to cut it more, or you wanted to edit more? There will be maybe director's cut, editor's cut, whatever.
Entirely possible. We'll see. We want to get this one out first. We have 20 hours of film. Although it's all digital, so I don't know how you say that. We'll just say it's film. 15 hours on the main camera, 5 hours on the second camera. The second camera was more a film of the film, the making of type thing. And we'll do that at some point. That's the fun one,
Yes.
But 15 hours we had to get down into 48 minutes. So we've got an awful lot of footage of film that's not in the film. And we talked to people. I think, I can't remember the exact number, but we talked to 45 or 55 people around Macedonia. And only, a handful of them obviously make it into the film because, frankly, at the end of the day, they all feel the same way. This is Macedonia. Our name is Macedonia.
This is, as I understand, this is a road movie.
Yeah, it's a road movie. It's a classic road film.
Yes.
Yeah.
Did Sigurjón is on the movie?
Yeah, that's him on the bike.
Yes, but is he showing in how he's driving through Macedonia?
Yeah, absolutely, excellent. And with the people, but he never speaks on camera. That's it's narrated. Yeah,
only narration.
Yeah,
on a motorbike.
Yeah, this is of course Mavrovo National Park.
Yes, okay.
Which is a beautiful. It actually looks, and we had the.
Може компјутерот режија да го прикажете? Да?
We had a still photographer with us for these photos, and she was from Iceland. And she looked at the Mavrovo National Park and she said, "This looks like Iceland."
It looks like Iceland because there
It's
is no
empty.
big tree.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, in Iceland there is no tree.
Up on those plains.
I remember that. Remember that. So you started to screen this movie around the world. Where was the first screening?
The first screening was October of 2009 at the Macedonian Film Festival in Toronto, Canada.
Excellent. And
we've taken it from there. It's been in North America and in Australia. So this is the European and Macedonian premiere on Monday night. Our reaction, here's the thing. As I always say, we have three goals with the film. Number one is to educate non-Macedonians. Number two is to encourage Macedonians. And number three is to entertain both groups.
Excellent.
So I'll give you an example for all three. In Washington, D.C., when we screened it, we had an Italian diplomat stand up afterwards. Don't know what his position was in the embassy, but he said, now I understand the position of the Macedonian people. Now I understand Macedonia.
Excellent. Hallelujah.
Absolutely. In Adelaide, Australia, a young boy afterwards, 12, 14 years old, he stood up and he said, I am so proud to be a Macedonian.
Excellent.
And as to entertaining, we have had standing ovations everywhere we have taken it. We had almost 2,000 people in Sydney at the screening there, in the stately State Theatre, which was built in 1929. It's just this beautiful, gorgeous theatre in downtown Sydney, with red velvet carpet and chandeliers and marble and all that. It was packed, absolutely packed.
Good producer.
Well, we had good organizers down in Australia.
Excellent. So. But why this timing? Do you, for purposely waiting for a year to go around the world and to came here?
No, the reason is it just kind of worked. You know, we don't, you know, the Macedonian people already know the issue, so it's not something that's, you know, needed to be shown. It's more for the outside world, obviously, to try and influence, but as I said, to encourage as well. So timing-wise, it just kind of worked. I know it's odd that it's here during UNGA and the name issue and the NATO summit coming up, etc. But you know what? The name issue is talked about all the time. There would be no time that you could air it and people would say, you know.
What is the cost of this project?
The cost is about 150,000 euros. So
it was difficult to raise such a fund of money.
Yeah, we're still actually. I'll be honest with you. We need to raise money to still pay it off. The whole production costs are not paid off yet. But we've gone to companies, corporations, individuals in Macedonia and around the world, and we've gotten good support from both. The majority of support has come from both individuals and companies, both inside and outside of Macedonia.
Excellent. I hope so that Macedonian people will appreciate this, will go to see them in cinema and buy a ticket, and of course to see a good movie about ourselves, our country, and to support because this is what we want. Somebody from out there to understand us and to speak about us. So this is not big money, and I believe that this country can afford to support you. I mean, not only the people, but the government should cover this without the problem. I don't know, this is my opinion, and I hope so it will be realized. But also, I understand that you made this movie. Jason, you are for the first time. I'm sorry, I call you Jason.
That's
Mr.
fine.
Jason.
No, Jason's fine. So
I know it's fine for you, but it's not fine in the television. Never mind. You're for the first time a producer.
First time for a producer, yes.
Yes. Producer usually means get the money.
Exactly. The producer's the one's got to go out and find the money. Show me the money. So,
show me the money.
Jerry Maguire.
So are you satisfied with your role in this? How you handle this? All of this?
It's been a very educational experience. It's an educational experience that money can't buy. Actually, no, I take that back. Money can buy it. So yeah, it's been a great experience. If you know, people have said, you know, if you had to do it all over again, would you do it and whatnot? I would, but I'd probably do it in a different manner. But I still would want to do it because
I think of the experience now you have.
Because I think it's very important for Macedonia. You know, this is an outsider's view, really, of the whole issue. The creative idea comes from the director. And we have the international artists, we have myself, we have the narrator, Surrender Emotion. So it's an outsider's view and an outsider's attempt to put a spotlight, as Sigurian says, on the Macedonian people and the issue.
Sigurian is a biker usually. He's a biker? He traveled through Europe with a bike?
I don't know if he has or not, but he does bikes, so yeah. He can ride a bike for sure.
No, because we have one big bike organization.
The Night Wolves.
Yes, the Night Wolves.
No, he met them, so.
Excellent. And they want me, they write me because they understand I will make an interview with you to invite you
Dimitri.
Dimitri, yes, of course.
Absolutely, yeah.
Excellent. To invite Sigurjón for the driving in Macedonia, for events and etc. etc. So, do you think to buy a bike also?
Well, yeah,
You're a family man.
yeah. Maybe, I don't know. You'll have to ask him that. So it's I don't like motorcycles, so I'm not going to ride on a motorcycle. But he might.
Okay, this is the formally interview for the movie. The movie, the documentary, A Name is a Name, will be shown in Cinema Millennium on Monday. For the first time in Macedonia.
Yes.
Jason, you are very long time here. You see the best and the worst of us. You were very close with late President Trajkovski, which I can assure you still missing in our hearts, in our people. Many didn't understand who he was while he was alive, but now they bite their tongue about all the bad things they said about him. What do you think about Macedonia post-Trajkovski? What do you think about all this situation, what we're going through? This is a non-formal conversation. In my latest column, I wrote about one movie. It's called The Man Who Came on the Mountain, on the
The
hill.
man who went up a hill and came down a mountain.
Came down
Hugh
the
Grant.
mountain with Hugh Grant in 1995.
Right.
And I watched that movie, and from that moment, I became very patriotic about my country and my people. And one of the things I miss from my people, such an enthusiasm to make 12 meters to change the hill into the mountain. What do you think about our bedside? Will our bedside in us will provide not to become what we have to?
Right. Well, okay, a couple of things. First of all,
My broken English, I hope so
no,
that
it's
you
perfect. I
understand.
understand. First of all, you know, as I wrote in my Nova Macedonia column last week, a friend is somebody who knows all about you and is still your friend.
This is very difficult and very deep thought.
So, I know all the faults and the sins here, just as I know all the faults and the sins of my own people in the United States of America. I choose to write about things that are hopefully encouraging, or gentle constructive criticism of Macedonia because I care. Ultimately, at the end of the day, obviously, it's going to be the people of Macedonia that determine the success or not of the country and how it goes. I am often asked around the world, how is Macedonia doing in its 19th year? And I have to say, frankly, Macedonia punches above its weight. 19 years young as a modern-day nation-state. Macedonia's southern neighbor, our friends in Greece, are 170, 80 years old, 1820s, 1830s. So they've had a long history of being able to develop all of the organs of a modern-day nation-state, and they have a larger population that is around the world, and they're wealthier, etc. And yet 127 countries around the world, despite the fact that there is this dispute, they have made the right decision and said, it's the Republic of Macedonia in bilateral relations. They are doing the right thing. The problem comes on the alphabet soup group, the international organizations, NATO and the EU particularly. What's going to happen with that? I don't know. I think first of all, Macedonia needs to decide what is its position. I'm not a Macedonian, but I certainly wouldn't want to change my name or my identity. Names and identity are sacred. Names actually represent dominion. You know, in Genesis chapter 1, verse 3, it reads, God said, "Let there be light," or God created the light and He called it day. He named it. In Genesis 2, Adam named the animals. It's dominion. It was the first act of dominion of God over the earth and the first act of dominion of man over the earth by naming the animals. Ancient kings named everything because they had dominion over them. Our mothers house us rent-free for 9 months, and then our parents take care of us for 18 years or more, and for that they get to name us. It's their act of dominion over us. So naming is an act of dominion. And the people here have said they've exercised their dominion by calling this the Republic of Macedonia. So when one nation wants to tell another nation what its name is, or should be, that is an act of dominion, and it's not right.
Don't stop.
Don't stop.
Don't stop. This is such a profound and enlightenment speech. I understand that this is near the end of the sentence. But I want you to. Yes, beautifully spoken, Mr. Miko. And I understand that you didn't answer me. A lot of things depends on us.
Right.
You are still a friend, and you know what we are and how we are.
Right.
Excellent. But are you optimist that we will survive this?
You know, Janko, if I had $1 for every time, or €1, that's better, €1, I think it's $1.33 today. If I had €1 for every time somebody here in Macedonia said, but we'll survive, I would be a very wealthy man.
Yeah, I understand. But
we want to do more than survive. We want to
this
succeed.
Mm-hmm.
We want to succeed. Macedonians want to succeed. They want to do more than survive. Macedonians, like everybody, want to succeed. Yeah, Macedonia will succeed, not just survive, if you continue to do the right things. So, and I think you can. But you have to have this internal debate on all these different issues and whatnot. And I hope that, you know, frankly, you know, and I'm delving a little bit into the political, but the question that the people need to ask the politicians, whether it's the Prime Minister or the opposition, is, what are your plans to create jobs and wealth? That is the most important question here.
Excellent question.
Just as it is in the United States.
We can ask about ideology all day, but at the end of the day, we need a full stomach.
Yeah.
We need something to put the food in our mouth.
Absolutely.
So this is, I think, the first thing to succeed in every our goals is creating jobs.
Jobs and wealth.
And wealth.
Yeah.
Excellent. And one last question, because you are American, also you are here in Macedonia and doing analytical things. Do you truly believe that American government, America, is a real friend of Macedonia? Do America have best intentions for Macedonia? My opinion, for many decades in the past, is that Macedonia maybe survived, that is my opinion, only and only because of America, nothing else. I'm not so sure about this, my opinion, because I'm not analytical in these things. So I will ask you. If it's okay for you.
Absolutely. No, I'm happy to talk on just about any subject. So, yeah, America, the United States of America, we are a friend to Macedonia. I think part of that is demonstrated by the fact that the United States Agency for International Development has put over $1 billion into Macedonia over the past many years since it's been here. Ambassador Phil Rieker and other ambassadors like him have done many things to help and support Macedonia, and they will continue to. I am especially proud of the fact, as a member of the Republican Party of the United States, that our former President, George W. Bush, did the right thing and recognized the Republic of Macedonia by its constitutional name in 2004. I think that's largely a result, frankly, of the friendship he had with the late President Boris Trajkovski, who was the #1 supporter of the name issue. They had a very close relationship. They were very good friends. Even though Barack Obama is a Democrat, and we have disagreements on many things, he has done the right thing by continuing the policy of George Bush to recognize the Republic of Macedonia by its constitutional name, in spite of all the pressure from Greece. And that is good.
It's America for their foreign policy. It's very strict. They didn't change their politics easily and turn off by Republican or Democrats when they came. I think that America has a steady foreign policy about that. So I see that we don't have such a support we have from George W. Bush, but we don't have disagreement from this administration about our name and dispute. We don't feel the pressure that this administration will pressure Macedonia to change their name and identity.
That's absolutely true. But two other points. Number one, and this is the same for the United States as it is for Macedonia as anywhere else. The number one issue for any country is self-interest. At the end of the day, it's self-interest.
Of course.
So we look out for our own interests first and then others second.
Excellent.
The other issue is that we have a major election coming up in November 2nd. It's not a presidential election, but it's the entire lower house, 435 members.
Which will be filled with Republicans. Even I know that.
Yes, okay, it should be, and a third of the Senate. And it may be taken over by the Republicans as well. Traditionally, and I don't know why this is, but I need to analyze it at some point. And traditionally, Republicans are bigger supporters of Macedonia than the Democrats.
Always.
It could be that our Greek friends tend to be Democrats, although there are Greek Republicans, a few, but obviously they support that issue. But the Republicans are more supporters of Macedonia, and I want to analyze that at some point. Maybe come back and talk about that. But you have an opportunity after November when the Republicans take over the House and maybe the Senate. And Ambassador, I have to say, I've given a plug to my friend Ambassador Zoran Yalevski, who has done an excellent job in Washington of reaching out to Congress, to the administration, to the media, to think tanks, to other ambassadors. And more people in Washington know about Macedonia because of his efforts, and it's.
This will be very good opportunity to call you again in the show
after
to talk
after the election.
After the election,
I'd be happy to.
Or maybe during the election, we will be live covering. Why not?
Come on over and monitor them for us.
Yes. So. We'll stay late at night drinking rakia and we're talking about. Schwarzenegger will be the next president?
No, he can't be. He wasn't born in the States, so.
So you didn't?
We didn't change. No, we didn't change that. No, so he can't.
Damn it.
So.
I watched the Expendables. Stallone said that he will be president. I don't know. I'm just kidding. Okay, Mr. Jason Miko, thank you very much for coming in the show. Congratulations on the big success. And for releasing this historical documentary about Macedonia from the people outside of Macedonia to, how did you put this way, what was your main goals? Repeat it again, please.
Main goals: educate non-Macedonians,
non-Macedonians,
encourage Macedonians, entertain both groups.
Excellent. And this is a very good reason to show the screening in Cinema Millennium on Monday. Thank you very much and hope to see you soon.
Janko, thank you very much for having me.
Почитувани гледачи, тоа беше се од интервјуто со господинот Джейсон Мико.